Don't forget that there's also a revision in the margins which are expected to reduce fuel prices, prices of petrol by some 1.6% and then diesel by 1.4%. That's according to the sector minister, who's hopeful that the measures taken will strengthen the currency and also help further stabilize the prices at the pumps. Here you have it on your screens, excerpts of the details that the finance minister pointed to. There'll be a reduction in the margins in petroleum price build-up by a total of some 50 pesos per litre with effect from 1st of April. And the details are here. You have the boss margin being reduced by 2 pesos per litre. And that's the Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund will also be reduced by 9 pesos per litre. And then you have the fuel making margin, which is also being reduced by some 1 peso per litre, and then the PDM is equally being reduced by 3 pesos per litre. But all of this, as the finance minister is indicating, will lead to some significant drops at the pumps in terms of fuel prices when it comes to petrol and diesel. Here's the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, announcing the measures a while ago.
Is influenced largely by the rising crude oil price on the international market and the exchange rate depreciation. Though the rising crude oil prices should have been to our benefit on net basis, Ghana's import of petroleum products amounts to 5.2 times the value of proceeds from its crude oil exports. In 2021, for example, we exported $3.947 billion of crude, of which Ghana's portion was $513 million. However, we imported $119 of crude and finished products. So the purported windfall gain in foreign exchange is quite a mirage. From January to date, the average export price of diesel and petrol have increased by 57% and 45% respectively. Unlike in other countries where the hike in crude oil prices and exchange rate volatility are leading to shortages in supply of petroleum products, government is implementing measures to guarantee constant supply of petroleum products. To mitigate the impact of the rising price of petroleum products at the pump for the next 3 months, government has decided to reduce margins in petroleum price build-up by a total of 15 pesos per litre with effect from 1st April. The details are as follows. Boss margin reduced by 2 pesos per litre. Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund margin reduced by 9 pesos per litre. Fuel marking margin reduced by 1 peso per litre. Primary distribution margin reduced by 3 pesos per litre. Ladies and gentlemen, these reductions in margins are expected to reduce prices of petrol by 1.6% and diesel by 1.4%. We anticipate that the measures taken to strengthen the currency will help further stabilize the prices at the pump.
Well, so that's the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. So what's the implication for transport fares? Obviously, the road users, particularly the transport unions, have served notice that they will increase transport fares in the coming days, but given the reduction and possible reduction in the coming days, what's going to be the implication for their planned action? Joining us now is Samuel Amwa, National Communications Member of GPRTU, Mother Union for all the transport unions. So it's a good time to be talking to you, Samuel. So you have the finance minister indicates that at least we'll have a significant reduction, 1.6%. What's your take on that? Will that mean that the memorandum that you signed with government will still hold and that prices will not go up anymore?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to your cherished viewers. And as you realize, you know, when we had a meeting with the transport minister, the agreement was that when the fuel prices goes up to 10%, by then when we were giving the 15%, but then the fuel price was 7.99.
Right.
Then the calculation was that at the moment we hit 8.8 and above, then hopefully there is the need for the transporters to also, you know, seek for an upward adjustment of our transport fares. But as it stands now, if I'm not lying, now Shell sells at about 10.6 I think 10.6, cedis per liter on a pump. Then I think fuel is around 10.4 or something. So should they reduce those 15 pesos from this? I don't think it will not come down below the 8.8.
But I mean, this is 1.6% we're talking about. Well, it's projected. We haven't seen the effects at the pumps yet, but government is so confident. Look at the margins, and that's part of the proposals that you tabled before the Transport Ministry, asking that some key components of the taxes that we have on petroleum, it should be slashed. That has been done. So it meets your demands, isn't it?
Yes, well, the thing is, we are running the business with mainly the petroleum product. It's one of the major components that we use. So the thing is, now government is trying to do its best to bring the petroleum prices down.
Right.
But our question is, if it doesn't come down to the level that will also help our business, then I don't think we also have to go by not increasing
I'm sorry for cutting through. So what do you mean to tell us that 1.6% is not significant enough?
Yeah, it's not significant. It is significant enough because all we think is reducing it by 1.6 will not come down below the 8.8 that we are expecting.
So what would this mean? You still go ahead and charge the new transport fares that you had threatened?
Yes. What is going to happen is, should they reduce it? Okay, at the moment, now fuel price is around 10.6 to 11 cedis a liter.
That's right.
That is why quite recently we proposed a 15% upward adjustment again. But should it come down a little bit, as the minister has rightly said, then what is going to happen is, although we will seek for an upward adjustment on the fares, but it will not go up to the 15% that we are talking about. Are we getting my point? So right. the thing is, should it come down below the 8.8, then I don't think the transporters will also go ahead by seeking for lorry fare increment, because even by the time we were giving the 15%, even the drivers were even complaining bitterly that they were thinking that the 15% increment is too small for us, considering where the fuel price was, considering the spare parts and other components. So now that it has gone up to this to this extent, and now government is coming in to bring or to see to it that it will be reduced a little bit. If it comes,
I'm sorry, but just give us some clarity. Are you saying that you now want a 15% increment? Because initially the coalition that you formed was demanding 30% hike in the transport fare. So what you're now asking for is the 30%? No. From the beginning, we asked for 30%. Right. Then the government came in to give us 15%. By the time we were giving the 15%, the fuel price was 7.99. Then the agreement is that should it go up, if in case it has been increased up to 8.8, that is the 10% threshold, 8.8 and above, then definitely we also have to go in for another increment. And that is why now the fuel price is around 10.6 to 11 cedis. It has even go beyond what we were the 10% threshold. That is why we also did our calculation and we came out to 15%. We wrote to the ministries that we had wanted to increase our lorry fares by 15% based on the current the current prices on so the 1.6. So I mean, assuming without admitting that the 1.6 works, what it will mean is that you still go ahead anyway and increase the transport.
Should the 1.6 works, we only have to do our calculations, check if it has come down below the 8.8, then we don't have to But
I mean, let's do that quickly. Where we are now, a 1% reduction in the 11 cedis margin would not change anything. You agree? So that would mean that the memorandum has been breached. So transport fares will still go up in the coming days. That's what you're telling us. Definitely.
Else our businesses will collapse. Definitely, it has to go up. So if the government doesn't want the transport fares to go up again, then they still have to do something about it, because we can't run a business to lose all the time. Our drivers are losing, our businesses are going down, because the major component we use is the petroleum product, and we can't go and buy it at a higher price and take a smaller fare. It will collapse our business. It's not like we are not thinking about the ordinary Ghanaians. We do, but this is our business that we are talking about.
But at least be fair to Ghanaians. I mean, government is cushioning you in these hard times. Why not wait for some time before you go ahead and increase the prices further?
We have been very fair. We have been very fair. Like, I said it earlier on that by the time we were giving 13% some time ago, up to when we were giving the 15%, by then the fuel price, they increased it up to about 35 to 36%. And if we want to go strictly by the 10% margin, that the 10% threshold that we were using, then we should have even increased it by 3 times or up or beyond. But because of the way, we also think about the ordinary Ghanaians, we also think about how the business will go and all that. That is why we were still, talking to the government to do something about it. So by the time we sent those those petitions to the government that they should reduce the taxes. But then, should they did that, I don't think by then we'll increase the lorry fares. But looking at where it is now, looking at where the fuel price is now, if they reduce it by the 1.6, it will not, bring any change that will cause us not to increase our lorry fares.
All right then, Samuel Ama, I'm grateful that you've been able to join us here on the Pulse.